Now introduce our next family, or our next parent. She has actually she started her journey with Girls Inc. before I did, if you can believe that. And she's just going to talk to you a little bit about, the importance of the intentionality of the work that we do, how it is so impactful in a girl's life. So I'm really, really happy to be able to introduce Julia Bustamente. Yeah. Hi, Julia.
Hi, thank you so much for asking me to speak about my experience with Girls Inc.
You're welcome.
And so, my experience with Girls Inc. actually started when I was 5 years old. So, Girls Inc. has been in my life for over 30 years, if you can believe it. Uh, what Girls Inc. gave me, because I have many, many memories of running up and down the hill and walking to Fort Marcy to go swimming. We learned about gardening, we did arts and crafts. It was a great experience. And how it affected me, even now as an adult, is when I was 19, I was put in charge of running a construction site. And I knew I could do it because I may be young, I may be the only female on this site, but Girls Inc. taught me that I could do anything I wanted. And that was something I wanted to do. I wanted to run this site. When I became a parent, my daughter, she is my little tomboy. She went to construction sites with me. She had more guy friends than girlfriends. And so she was not a big fan of the idea that I was sending her somewhere where there were going to be no boys. But now she loves it there. She goes every day, and we're constantly talking about what she did at Girls Inc. And it's been amazing. The big thing that Girls Inc. has done for my family, though, was she had only been there a few months, and then I got diagnosed with cancer. And that is a scary thing for anyone, much less a child, to have to face the idea that her mom, because I was a single parent at this point, is facing a very, very scary illness. And Girls Inc. was there for her. They took this little girl who was scared and upset and angry and taught her how to channel it and make her confident and give her a sense of control of this situation, which mm, most people don't have control during a cancer diagnosis. There's so many unknown questions. The other thing they did is she's lactose intolerant. So thankfully, she started to grow out of it so she can eat more dairy. But when she started, it was a no dairy situation for her. Most after school programs, they tell either the parents have to provide a snack for her, for their kid, or they don't do anything. So their kid will, if there's dairy being served, you skip out on snack that day. It Girls Inc. took that into consideration. And so they brought her snacks. So her friends might be eating ice cream or popsicles, but they made sure there was some type of treat for her. And that's a big deal for a little kid because she got to see her friends enjoying their treat while she enjoyed hers. The other support that Girls Inc. gave us as a family while I was going through cancer diagnosis, there were days that for one reason or another, I couldn't get the payment to them by the due date. And they worked with me, making sure that I could get that when I made the payments, it came in on time, and they were willing to work with me and give me some leeway. And it was one less thing on my plate. And that was amazing as well. When the pandemic hit, Girls Inc. just rolled with it. They took this huge challenge and they taught these girls to be resilient, that there's always something that they can do. They rolled out bags for the summer, and we'd go and we'd pick up the 2 weeks worth of activities, and we had no idea what they were going to be doing with all these supplies. And so we took it, and Josie would put it there, and we'd play a game of what do you think we're going to do this week with these stuff. And they did it. They did art, they did science, they had the girls up and moving. And you don't really think about it, but the way a lot of kids are able to connect with each other is through movement and games. So they had them doing yoga, they played games, they had them standing up and jumping around. So they weren't just sitting in front of the TV or sitting in front of a computer screen all the time. They had one-on-ones with the girls. So if the girls were going through something that they didn't feel comfortable talking to the entire group about, they could talk to their facilitator, and the facilitator could help them come up with coping mechanisms for whatever they were facing. When my daughter was spending the summer with her dad, she spent a week with him, and this was a first for her. She had never done it before. But Girls Inc. was there every day. So if she could log in, she was there. And that didn't always happen, but she knew that she had this group of adults that she could talk to and that could help her cope with this crazy situation that we're facing. So I would like to thank all of you for donating, because the future can be found at Girls Inc. And because of your support, the future is very bright.
Thank you so much, Julia. I am just so thankful for you allowing and trusting us to be able to be part of yours and Josie's story. And yeah, no, she really is a phenomenal human. And I mean, it would have been pretty amazing to have her here this evening to maybe share one of her stories. She is a powerhouse. So you're doing a good job, Mom.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you so much for telling your story, Julia. Wonderful. All right. So I now have the pleasure of introducing our Girl of the Year from last year. She is actually one